We all love our code to be formatted nicely and consistently. And luckily, we've got more than one tool to achieve that. However, they all share a common flaw. You have to take some extra steps to run the formatter. Xcode 16 tries to solve this problem with an easier solution. Last year's version ships with Swift format built in. It is yet another tool for linting and formatting code. Just as you would expect, it can check your code for style errors and fix some of them automatically. What makes Swift format unique is that it's bundled with Swift itself, and because of that, it's available as a subcommand. Xcode 16 takes a step further and lets you reformat the file you're working on with a single shortcut. Basically, as soon as you've made your changes, you press Shift-Ctrl-I and the code gets formatted right away. No switching between apps and no waiting. Looks fantastic, right? Yes, but what about, of course there are caveats. They always are when it comes to Xcode. Where things start to fall apart is when you want to customize Swift format's behavior. The good news is that Xcode is smart enough to discover and use the config file you have in your repo. The bad news is that Swift format's config files aren't versatile enough. At least that's my impression. You can customize many options, but some pretty common ones are still missing, and their absence is hard to explain. For instance, Swift format doesn't let you keep white spaces on empty lines. Maybe it's not a big deal, and maybe you don't really need those white spaces. Except Xcode has this option enabled by default, which means Xcode and Swift format will be constantly fighting with each other. In short, using Swift format in a real project might require some sacrifices from your side. However, I'm fairly optimistic about Swift format's future as part of Xcode. To me, it looks really promising. Besides, there's one more good news about Swift format. The tool itself is open source and in active development. I believe I even saw a pull request which has the missing rule for whitespace only lines, so I keep my fingers crossed.